What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the BallGame podcast. The BallGame podcast is here, and so is Week 6 of the NFL. We have the Washington Commanders Super Bowl at 1 p.m. on Sunday. Can't wait. But we are here to give you our starts and sits of the week for fantasy football. Dean's here. What's up, Dean?
What's going on, guys?
You know my name.
That's Matt. I'm Chris. We could just get right into it. I don't think we have any. How do you feel about your we have thoughts and thoughts.
So we've been going back and forth about this in the group chat since it happened that morning. So my argument, they're saying that it wasn't a good thing for the Jets to fire their head coach midseason.
Well, wait, I have to preface it because you weren't happy about what we said on the podcast. When we recorded the podcast, we were under the impression that Nate Hackett was still calling.
That is very true.
Okay.
So,
but then we've still been going back and forth all week.
Well, so
I'm just having fun with it because you really care and you're really passionate about it.
After
and you really
taking
want to go against history.
After taking play calling duties away, I feel a little better about it, but it's still like that's what Saleh was planning on doing in the first place. Like that was the plan. So, but I don't know. Maybe Ulbricht's going to do better to prepare these guys. So.
But I think clearly, just based off of the amount of mistakes that the Jets make throughout every single game, the Jets continuously shoot themselves in the foot in every single facet of the game, whether it's false start, whatever it is, bro. Guys dropping balls, guys not being bought in, not knowing their routes, not communicate. Like every single thing that has to do with getting your team prepared for a football game, they were failing at. And whether it's Saleh's fault or the players like failing Saleh, it doesn't matter. They weren't doing it. Someone has to take the blame for that. And you can't just cut every player because every player is making mistakes.
Can we fully rule out the fact? Like, can we put the blame of the offense on Saleh too?
He's the head coach of the football team.
I genuinely think
He has to get some more.
I do agree, but I genuinely think that that's a Rodgers-Hackett operation, and that is how they wanted it. Like, I really do think that's just the case. So,
listen, I think Hackett sucks as an offensive coordinator. He probably shouldn't have a job.
Do you really
in the NFL.
trust what's his name? Todd Downing?
I think anything could be better than what we were seeing with Hackett. And I was watching some tape of some YouTubers like breaking down like the Jets offense. It wasn't even like the plays that were being called and what was being called on the field wasn't even so bad. The players just nobody was executing. Everybody on the Jets offense was taking turns making a mistake, whether it was a holding, a drop, Aaron Rodgers missed throw. All three of those things cycle. No one was on the same page at the same time. Everybody at different points was making a different mistake, and all together was a bad offense. And I think that as leaders, Nate Hackett and Saleh were failing their team by letting them continuously make mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake every week for the past 5 weeks. You fly all the way to London just to embarrass yourselves on national television.
Did Rodgers miss part of off-season training camp for an ayahuasca retreat?
It's mini camp, bud. It's mini camp.
Did he or did he not?
He did.
Oh,
he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was just asking.
But it's not like it's a mini camp for a team you've been playing for your whole career. This is a brand new team. Like, yeah, that definitely matters.
But I think
I agree.
Hey, he needed to find himself, okay? He didn't know if he was going to be RFK's VP.
No,
right?
I definitely agree with you more now that Nate Hackett was relieved of his play calling duties. Like 100%, it makes more sense now. My biggest complaint with it was that it was crazy that Rob Saleh lost his job, but at the time we were under the impression that Nate Hackett was keeping his job.
Yep.
That was my biggest complaint with it. It makes a lot more sense now that they kind of cleaned house, and I agree with you. Both those guys were clearly not doing a good enough job as leaders of men because, like you keep saying, the guys were not prepared for games. 100%, I agree with you there. It makes sense in that regard, but I'm going to keep saying it. History just says the Super Bowl window is closed. That's the title of the YouTube clip out. Obviously, as a fan, you should be hopeful and believe in your team. You guys haven't made the playoffs since we were in 4th grade, you said, right? 4th grade.
Pretty young.
It's been a long time.
Pretty
This is the best team you guys have had probably since then. So obviously still believe and still, be a fan. But history does say it's cooked.
I remember that magical Fitzpatrick run.
Well, the last time that the Jets made the playoffs, Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl with the Packers, his only
Wow.
Super Bowl. So
Wow.
Wow.
poetic.
That's
Well, maybe
insane.
the next time the Jets make the playoffs, Jordan Love will win his first and only Super Bowl with the Packers. Maybe we got to bet the Packers.
Oh, my
Super Bowl.
God.
The
bet
Jets
the Packers
Packers
to win
Super
the
Bowl
Super
is
Bowl.
everything I think everybody wants. I think
That'd be
that's-
electric.
That's,
That
be
would
that's what
be
everybody wants.
insane.
That'd be a good matchup.
I would love that.
But I think that the way the AFC and specifically the AFC East has gone so far, I think that whole division is wide open. I don't think the Bills are playing as well as they probably should be playing. I think a lot of people are looking at Josh Allen saying he's having a great year, which he has no interceptions, but he has the most turnover-worthy plays in his career thus far. He's had multiple drop picks. He's honestly getting lucky. They're
Super
lucky.
lucky.
They're
So
lucky. They're
lucky.
3-2.
His first 3 games were almost 3 master classes, minus 1.
last 2 have been a disaster.
The last 2 have been disaster classes. So
And you could blame the concussion. Bro was 9 for 27 before
9
he
for
got.
30, bro.
Bro started the game
Oh,
1 for 9.
27 after that, yeah.
1 for 9.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is not playing
No,
good
it wasn't
football.
the concussion.
And
His-
that's a whole other conversation because it's insane that they, even though he played, like, despite his horrible play, they still should have won that game. That was
yeah.
crazy clock management, but it's still insane that Sean McDermott has a job. I'm
Bro,
not gonna
And
lie.
now they're gonna walk into MetLife Stadium on Monday night and try to
take you guys down
and with the Jets team that's probably fired up.
and just
fans
suck
that are
the
probably-
life.
If-
Suck the
Look,
life
if,
out of
I'm
you
just
guys.
saying, if they somehow go into MetLife and beat you guys after you fired your coach
Season's
and they are on a tailspin, yo,
Season's over.
it'll get real toxic.
Because then we got Pittsburgh the next week, and dang sure we're getting our butts beat by Pittsburgh.
I don't know about
in
that.
Pittsburgh or at home.
I think it's in.
It's in
Oh
Pittsburgh,
yeah,
yeah.
Gluck.
That's never fun. But like Dallas just went into Pittsburgh and beat them.
Yeah, but
Like,
Dallas.
I feel like the Jets just like all
has
time
the
have a tough time
What?
against Pittsburgh,
Dallas
no
has
matter
the
what.
lure, man.
Pittsburgh just always is just a tough match, no matter who you are.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's always tough, but I don't know, man. You should win these next 2 weeks. You should win these next 2 weeks.
I don't
Kinda
think saying
need
you
to.
should win.
You need to.
I don't think you should win against the Bills. I don't think that's like a. You should beat the Bills. Nobody should beat the Bills.
Bro.
They're a top 7 team in the league.
You should beat the Bills.
I don't think that's true. How is
Why?
that true?
Why is that not true?
Because
You're
they're
at
a
MetLife
premier team in the
prime
league.
time,
They have a
right-
top 3 quarterback in the league. I don't think anybody's a given. You should beat Josh
No, no, no,
Allen
no,
this
no.
week.
I-
Coulda,
I'm
coulda,
not
woulda.
saying-
You guys need to beat the
No,
Bills.
we need to. Yeah.
I'm saying you should. I'm not saying you will.
Is
I'm
it something
saying
the
you
Jets should do? Yeah, they should win a freaking game, dude.
should
Just
win
go
football
tell them,
games.
bro. You should go tell them. Maybe that'll help.
Dean Wagner, the next head coach
Yo,
of the
Aaron,
New York
don't throw
Jets.
3 picks, dude. Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It wouldn't have gotten your coach fired too. But maybe he did it on purpose, so who knows?
Maybe you wanted Bobby.
Do you really
fired.
believe that Woody Johnson didn't speak to Aaron about it at all?
I think it's so BS that Aaron
It's-
Rodgers wasn't in on the firing. I think Aaron Rodgers knew about it.
It's
I think
bullshit.
Woody probably asked, "Hey, like, if you don't want me to do this, like, I won't do this." I think Aaron probably, I don't know if he said fire him, but he probably said, "You do what you think."
Yes, I think that's exactly what happened.
He
But there
didn't.
was
He
a
didn't stop
They
it.
had it. They had it. So he
don't
said
think
it
he
on the.
stopped it.
He said it on the Monday. I mean, he said it on the Wednesday Pat McAfee show. He said, Monday night, Woody Johnson gave me a call, but he didn't tell me anything about what he was planning on doing.
Bullshit.
Come on,
It's
bro.
bullshit.
Bro,
Come on.
you're
And
telling me
you're
yeah.
sitting here preaching accountability. That's not taking accountability. Like, come on, Aaron Rodgers.
But I think Aaron Rodgers
Rodgers-
knows more than anybody else that Salah wasn't the guy for the job.
Whether he was a guy or not, it's just fucking hilarious that he's swearing up and down that him and Woody Johnson didn't speak about it. It's funny to me.
I don't think, but you can't come out and say,
You can't- yeah, I was
we
about to
talked
say.
about firing the coach. the
I was
night
about to
before."
say you
I get it.
can't.
That's the
you
worst
can't come
look
out.
in all of sports.
Because then it'll actually look like
I
it's
mean,
like
it's just like the players know, though. Like the guy, Sauce Gardner knows. Or what, you think he thinks Aaron Rodgers had nothing to do with it? Like, that's what I'm saying. As
That's
much
not
as it was a problem, the coaching staff, the defense, like we saw it with some of the tweets and the quotes with Sauce, like the defense loved Rob Saleh. So as much as it can spark new life into them and fix things, there's also a world where this just causes a big divide between the team. And makes everything that was already apparent even worse. You know what I'm saying?
It felt like there was already starting to be
That's
like
what I'm saying. There was already a
rift
divide
with
between
Rodgers and the
yes,
and the
that's what I'm
team a
saying.
little
There
bit
was already
too. So.
kind of a divide between the teams. So this is
I don't know.
something that could either stitch it up, patch it up a little bit, or just freaking drive them even further apart, the two sides of the ball, which
I think that every player on the team is fully aware that their poor execution got their coach fired. I think they're fully aware.
100%.
I think
Yeah.
they know, he's probably not Bill Belichick. He's probably a bottom half coach of the league, if not worse.
but we should have been better.
But they should have been better.
100%.
And I think everybody in that building knows that they failed Rob Saleh. I think they know that.
100%.
I don't think they're dumb people. I don't think they think that, Rob Saleh was like, I don't think they think he's the worst, but I think they think they failed him.
As long as because that's my big point. As much as Rob Saleh may have failed the players, the organization and the players failed him. That
Yes.
was
100%.
my like I said it on the clip out on the pod the other day. Rob Saleh built that shit from the ground up. And again, last year winning 7 games, I really don't think I could get to 5 coaches on my hand that could win as many games as he did with the quarterback play they had last year. Honestly, I really don't.
They
And
also had one of
O-line.
the best defenses ever.
Yeah, but he
builds that.
He built that. He handpicks. Obviously, the GM drafts, but I'm sure he had a big say in the players that were coming to play for his defense. Like he was scouting, looking at these guys. Like I'm sure he wanted Sauce, Jermaine Johnson,
Yeah.
DJ Reed, all these guys. Like he wanted them. You know what I'm saying? And he built the system, obviously with the help of Jeff Ulbrich, who's now the head coach. But like he built that shit. And again, I really don't think there's many head coaches who are winning 7 games with that roster.
Have you guys seen the story? This is actually a true thing that Woody wanted to actually fire Ulbrich before last year or after last year, and when he heard that Kyle Shanahan was trying to hire Ulbrich off the Jets staff, Woody completely changed his mind and thought the world of Ulbrich.
It's just all so weird and strange with the Jets, man.
Your biggest problem is your owner doesn't get out of his own fucking way.
Well, the
That's
owner
a big
the
issue.
owner cares too much about what other people think.
Yes. And the problem is you hire a guy and then you get the fuck out of the way. And that's not what Eddie, Jesus Christ, who the fuck is Eddie? That's not what Woody Johnson does. He always has to have a say. He always has to be involved. Hire your guy and step the fuck away.
I also
That's
really
simple.
do believe that. I saw on Twitter, I don't know how true it is, but Woody Johnson has partners/friends that were in London.
Yeah.
And they freaking embarrassed themselves in London. That had to play a part in it.
Well, he was the ambassador of the UK when Trump was
Right,
president.
yeah,
Like, he
so,
was he was like appointed that.
right. So he had like very close people to him at that game last week, and they embarrassed
literally
him.
shit
They
the
embarrassed
bed.
him,
Yeah.
honestly. So like that, I think that played a part in it. And that's
Probably
like
did.
you can't own the team with your feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
I
whether it was the right or wrong move, if that's the reason why, because it was in London and you feel embarrassed, that's a little bit. Come on, bro. Like
All I
let
think-
the GM do his job. Let the coaches do their job.
Exactly.
Right.
All I think is that if this was going to happen, it should have happened in the offseason when you had Mike Vrabel available to you. Like you had all these coaches available to you, but instead you waited and did it during the season. Like this is something a lot of people were calling for his job in the offseason.
Well, I think they
So
But I agree with you too.
I think they wanted to give Salah a chance with the team.
Yeah.
And they gave him a chance
Yeah,
after
I
5
agree with
weeks.
the point that you've been making too. Like, okay, yeah, they should have done it in the offseason, but they didn't. What were they supposed to do? Let the season ride out and keep losing games in the same exact way. So the Jets needed a change. We all knew the Jets needed a change. Was it firing Rob Saleh? We don't know, but the Jets needed some type of change. We all thought it was just getting rid of Hackett, obviously, but the Jets needed a change.
Well, now they did that,
So, yeah,
basically.
the Jets obviously needed a change. So I guess to some extent you have to respect them for seeing it wasn't working and trying to fix it. Because there's a lot of teams who would sit back and do nothing and punt the season away and not change anything. So
Well,
you got to respect that.
I think bottom line, I think every team in sports should move to the new model of having a team president at the very top that acts as the owner, that is very knowledgeable, like the Mets did with Stearns this year. That's why they're so good. And every successful team is moving to this kind of model. And then GM and then coach. I think there needs to be a guy that stands in for the owner, let the owner do whatever and give him money, and that's all they're there for.
Yeah. All right. That's enough Jets talk. I'm sure we'll have more Jets talk next week when they get dicked down by the Bills on Monday night. Can't wait for that. Moving on, Week 6 starts and sits, starting with the quarterback position. My start of the week is my guy, my favorite quarterback, Mr. Dime himself, D. Dimes, Danny Dimes, on prime time versus the Cincinnati Bengals. It's simple, man. The Bengals defense freaking stinks.
It
The
does.
Giants showed last week that they could win without Malik Neighbors, so I'm not that worried about that. Daniel Jones showed last week that he could put out a great fantasy output without Malik Neighbors. 3 of his 5 games, he's over 18 points. I think he's like a top 13 quarterback on the year, having 2 stinkers in there. And again, this defense just stinks. He's a guy who you might still be able to get off waivers. Starting Danny Dimes this week.
Yeah, I'm just honestly hurt that you took my boy from me. But I'm going to go with Jordan Love this week against Arizona in what likely will be a shootout. Jordan Love, since coming back, has had 31 points and 16 points. So he hasn't been out of this world for both of the games, but they've been throwing the ball a ton, and I like the prospects of that. I think Jordan Love's going to have a great game in a high-scoring one, nonetheless. So start Jordan Love.
I'm starting Jared Goff. The Lions offense going against the Dallas
The
Cowboys.
Lions offense going against the Detroit defense.
The Cowboys defense is just depleted and bad, and yeah, the Lions offense is the best. So that's basically it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Very
it's
simple.
a good way to
Start
describe
the
it.
quarterback
Yeah,
of the best offense against the worst defense.
Especially when he could sit his ass in the pocket all day.
Exactly.
Shit, and
Nice
you might
people
even get a receiving touchdown from him, too.
Mm.
There's always that
Goff
possibility.
has receiving upside.
Yeah,
Yo,
100%.
he's
the
got
only
hands,
quarterback
bro.
with receiving upside, bro. He's a must start. Send him back where you sit, Wagner.
He's got hands, man.
My sit is gonna be Anthony Richardson. He sucks at football.
Your boy.
There's always a chance Anthony Richardson is gonna run one in if they get to the 1 or 2 yard line. But the thing is, they gotta get to the 1 or 2 yard line, which is really, really hard for Anthony Richardson to do. They're versing the Tennessee Titans, which is a tough defense anyway. Sitting his butt on the bench. I know you might have drafted him in the 5th, 6th, 7th round. Sit him on the bench. He sucks. Cut your losses. That's it.
Especially with, I don't know why he's playing, but
Oh,
Michael
God.
Pittman playing on basically having no back. So I feel like he's going to be a
The
non-factor.
both of them. They're just throwing
Yeah,
their hurt guys
Yeah,
out.
I'm
hurt
pretty sure
franchise
Josh
players out.
Downs was pretty banged up in practice this week
Yes, he
too. I
was.
think he's going to play, but he was banged up in practice too. So the whole Jonathan Taylor, is he playing? Do we know?
No, he's out. He's
No,
out.
JT's out.
Jonathan Taylor's out, so the whole offense is hobbled. So even if Anthony Richardson is healthy and ready to go, everyone around him is injured too. So it's just he's an easy sit this week.
Yeah.
Easy.
And there's no guarantee A-Rich even plays. Apparently, he's questionable for Sunday still. And I think he's going to be a game-time decision. I mean, I would think they start Flacco, but, you know.
I think he probably gives them a better chance to win a football game.
Yeah, that's crazy to say, yes. All right, so I'm going to be sitting Baker Mayfield this week. The Saints are 3rd in fantasy points against to quarterbacks. Rattler is starting for the New Orleans Saints, so maybe, just maybe, the Bucs look to run the ball a bunch, control the clock, and we'll see what happens from there. But also, not only that, Marshawn Lattimore has historically owned Mike Evans. So I think that trend may continue. And yeah, I would sit Baker Mayfield for this week.
So you're saying it's Rod God season?
It is Rod God season, yeah.
I need that for one of my teams.
But it is not Baker Mayfield season.
Got it.
All right, fair enough. My sit of the week is going to be Trevor Lawrence. He was my start of the week last week. He looked pretty solid, but he was going against one of the worst defenses in the NFL in the Colts. I'm sure at some point we're going to get to a start of the week against the Colts defense because that's just the way the fantasy start sits have gone this year. I'm sure someone has something in there against the Colts, but he's going against that Bears defense. They're number 1 in terms of fewest fantasy points allowed to quarterbacks on a weekly basis. I know it's basically a home game for the Jaguars in London, but that Bears defense is stifling, man. So I'm sitting Trevor Lawrence. There's just better options out there, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like you knew it was coming. I'm starting Tony Pollard this week against the Colts defense. The Colts defense is not good, as Chris just mentioned. And Tony Pollard has been good and has been the main back for the Titans. I expect it to probably get a little bit out of hand at some point or another, even though the Titans don't really blow people out. They will be running the football a bunch. I expect that. And allowing the beaten up Colts offense to try to make some mistakes over there. So
I think it's insane that they're still starting Will Levis. Like, side note, he got injured. He had a turn against the Dolphins. He had a turnover
Dude,
already.
that
got injured,
pick.
and then Mason Rudolph came in and did exactly what you're supposed to do with this team. Don't turn the ball
don't
over.
turn the ball
be
over.
able to run the ball and rely on the defense. And granted, it was against the Dolphins. They fucking suck. But he did the job that Will Levis has been struggling all year to do, and it's the reason why they're not, honestly not competing for a playoff spot right now.
Bro, they would have potentially 3 more wins.
Yes, and we talked
They would be a
about
4-1 football
We
team
talk
right
about
now
it
if
with
it
the
wasn't
Colts
for
with
Will
Joe
Levis.
Flacco and Anthony Richardson. Joe Flacco gives them the better chance to win.
Yes.
Mason Rudolph, clear as day, just gives this. I like Will Levis. I was very high on Will Levis. He fucking sucks.
But I
Mason
think-
Rudolph just gives this team the better chance to win. It's crazy.
I think with both of those teams, I think they understand that short term, yeah, those quarterbacks might be able to win you week 5, week 6, week 7. But I think they're looking more big picture. I think they know they're not winning the Super Bowl this year, and they're sacrificing wins for quarterback development.
Bro, I'm going to be honest
It's
with
weird
you.
with the Titans because a lot of the moves they made this offseason
Are win
were
now.
win now moves. So yeah, even regardless of if Will Levis was him or not, the moves were like, we're going to just try and put fans in the seats and make the playoffs. We're going to try and win games. You paid big money to Calvin Ridley. You paid big money to L'Jarius Sneed.
Yep. Tony Pollard got a contract.
Tony Pollard got a contract. You traded for Ernest Jones before the
Yes.
season started. Like, they've made a bunch of win
Made
now moves.
O-line moves.
The defense is ready to win games. A top 5 defense in the league, in my
Yep.
opinion. Their secondary's sick. They get pressure. They're a great unit. So it's just weird. And
Yeah.
Will Levis is just so bad.
Levis is...
So bad.
Levis looks like he plays quarterback blind and just has fun out there. Just has no idea where he's throwing it or what he's doing. Just does it.
Yeah, so especially with Will Levis starting, they're going to have to rely on that run game even more. So Tony Pollard, fire him up. RB1 in the 32-man league that I'm undefeated. The undefeated streak
I'm right
continues,
there, bro.
even
I'm
with
4-1 in 3rd place.
Even with Kyron Williams on the bye, the undefeated run is going to continue, man. Yo, my team's insane in that league.
Bro, my team would be so much better if Bryce Young wasn't. It's just
Yo, I got Ken Walker in the 3rd round in that league.
That's
Third round of a
crazy.
32-man league.
that's crazy.
No, it's
insane.
That is pretty insane.
Took Evan Ingram in the 2nd round.
That's
tight
worked
end,
out for
yeah.
you.
He had the most targets.
Bro, I
of
traded up
tight
to
ends
draft
last
Pat
year.
Fryermuth in the 4th
Hey,
round.
he's been all right.
Yeah, he's been cooking, bro.
He's been
I have
solid.
the dynamic duo at tight end, Pat Fryermuth and Kobe Parkinson, bro. That's why I'm undefeated. Bro, tight end premium, they're fucking cooking. They're
Parkinson
like,
had,
10
like,
easy
12
10
targets
points a
last
game.
year.
Yeah. The both of them, easy 10 points a game. My running back start of the week, we talked about this game. It's David Montgomery going against the Cowboys. Pretty simple. Cowboys' run defense is the worst in the league, maybe aside from the Colts. It's really a touchdown play here. You know, David Montgomery, he's not going to get workhorse volume, obviously, being with Jahmyr Gibbs, but they should punch the ball down there, and David Montgomery should be able to run.
They
with
both
it.
might get 20 touches of this game.
Yeah, 100%.
They might both
They-
just...
I think they likely will
They
get
probably
20
will.
touches or so. They've been really good with how they've balanced both of
It's
them.
literally split down the middle.
Yes, and it's perfect.
And they
'cause it-
offer different things. What I notice is the lines, they'll run Montgomery out first, punish the defense, wear him down, and then Gibbs just runs right by him after they're tired.
Bro, Monty
legs.
has looked so goddamn good.
It's really insane that Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift walked so Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs could run.
Well,
Yes.
you saw the vision, what they were trying to do.
Yeah, no.
And then they got the perfect guys to execute
Yeah.
it right after.
Yeah, I don't think I knew we all knew David Montgomery was a good running back, but I don't think we saw this cut. Bro, he's tossing dudes on a weekly basis, just throwing them.
Well,
Nah, David Montgomery, we always, the fantasy footballers just
the
basically
community
talked
knew.
it into our fucking ears for years
Yes.
and years.
well, he
we
wasn't
knew.
a workhorse guy in Chicago. Like he was, but he shouldn't. That's not his style of play. I think the way the Lions are utilizing him is perfect.
I don't even think that was the problem. I think the problem was just that the Bears were so fucking bad
That too.
that it was a
Yeah.
horrible
Yeah,
infrastructure
he
for
definitely
him.
has the skill set of like a workhorse
Yes.
back, but he's like and that's just the Dan Campbell effect, but he's just so bought into this ground and pound, let me run you over style of play that his elusive traits, he doesn't even need to display those because he's just running through guys. But
They have
he
running dudes
has
over.
the
Guy,
elusive traits and stuff like that to be a workhorse, and he has a pass catching ability.
Yeah.
But they just don't need that from him because they have Gibbs. His job is run north and south and run people over, and he's doing an insane job at it.
Wear the defense down so that Gibbs can come and run
They're
around
a fucking
people.
unit, bro. They really are. They're a unit.
There is very little weakness to the Detroit Lions. They're scary. Go ahead.
My start of the week, I'm going to go with Bucky Irving with Rashad White out. He's been the more efficient runner. I think it's going to be Bucky's season the rest of the way. I think this is going to be his breakout.
Rashad White's not playing.
He's officially out. I know he was hurt coming in.
I think he's either doubtful
he's
or
going to be
out.
limited probably even if he plays.
So chances are it's going to
He
be
is doubtful.
It's going to be Bucky's season this week.
Oh
yeah.
my God, he's projected 13 points.
Yo, you're
bro.
gonna
I'm
fucking win.
this week, bro. No.
Wow.
Yo, is that going to put Marufi in last? Oh, no, my cousin's going to be in last place. Let's go. Let's go.
Who does your cousin put? Bro, what do you mean, let's go, bro?
He plays
Yo,
me.
everyone, you guys all heard that. Trunks, Lav, everyone fucking heard that. Let's
Cousin,
go.
projected to lose by 60 against me.
Jesus
my God.
Christ.
Dean, bro.
Bro,
you
his team
Bro, he has Nick
sucks.
Chubb in his lineup. Nick Chubb's projected 0. He's ruled out.
He's
No,
still-
he'll change
he's
it
still
if
pumped.
it comes down to. He's not going to try to. He's not going to try
He
to
has to start Zeke.
actively tank. He's going to.
Bro, he's
trade
Ray
more
Ray
guys, bro.
McLeod in his lineup. Bro.
He's going to trade Tony Pollard soon, bro.
Bro, he's
His
starting-
team is going to be rough.
He's starting Andre Yosifas.
I thought you were about to say Andre Drummond. I
Yo,
don't know
the
why.
thing is, though, it doesn't even matter. Like, I really would like to just get the first pick, but, like, I'm trading for that shit regardless. I really don't care. Genty will be on my team. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'll give your cousin all the first round picks. Like, Genty will be on my team. There's just no way around it.
I mean, your team's not that far off.
Yeah,
I know,
he's a
that's
running
what-
back
I
off.
need Genty, bro.
You're a running back off, yeah.
Hitting on Brian Thomas was the best thing that could have happened for
Yes.
Bucky, great hit. I mean, you hit on Jaden Day. Like, this
Even
year's
Jalen
draft.
Wright's looked pretty good. Like, obviously, you know, he's
He'll
not
be
going to
involved.
get to work right now because I think Mostert and A-Chain are back going forward. But last week, he was the highest graded runner on PFF.
Yeah, you
If
nailed.
you really wanted
nailed
to,
this draft.
You probably could compete this year if
The
you
thing
wanted
is that the league is so split right now that there's literally 6 teams trying to win and 6 teams trying to not
It
win.
really is.
I'm waiting for you guys at the top to decide you want to go for my strategy and sell your guys.
Well, that's coming for Trunks and Jason.
I know
They've
that's what
already
I'm-
said
yeah,
that.
That's
so
why I'm waiting. I don't want
I
to
ain't
trade for
going
those guys
nowhere.
now because they're going to get to a point where it's like, oh, I just want whatever picks I could get for these guys.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be able to get them at value.
Well,
I've
I've been in purgatory for 3 years, and I'm probably going to stay in
yeah,
purgatory.
no, it's
No, but your team is really good.
first 5
so it's
years
fine.
were his, the next 5 years are mine.
Nah, my time is never gonna end because I'll trade my guys at the perfect time, get picks, and then keep.
Except
Thing is,
here's
no
the
one wants
thing:
to
no
trade
one
with you.
wants
No
to
one
do that
wants to
for
trade
you.
with me
Everyone's
anymore.
just gonna let Bijan and Jamar Chase literally rot and die on your team. Like, no, it's
yeah, but you say that, and then I made trades this off season again. So it's like
well,
we
yeah,
all
when
thought
you
that
have
was
your
gonna
cousin in
happen.
the league that colludes
Bro, I
with
made
you,
a
it's
trade with
easy.
Volpe for Travis Etienne.
Yeah, but look what Volpe's saying now. He'll never do that
Yeah,
shit
because I
again.
fleeced him.
He'll never do that.
because I
I'm,
fleeced
I'm
him.
glad I gave you Rashid Rice, dude. He exploded.
because of Mahomes.
Yeah, shout out
Because
Bucky
of
Irvin,
that.
bro. Hopefully
Good
he
trade, bro.
flops,
Good
so.
trade. Good trade.
Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't matter. Who'd you get out of that?
Mari Cooper.
That's working
80,
out for
80
you.
Mitchell.
Bro, I even
That's
got
working out
Jalen
for you.
Polk starting this week. Like, it might be up for Jalen Polk with fucking Drake May, bro. I really might. Yo, I'm making the playoffs, bro.
You could.
From 0-5 to the Yoffs, bro. Imagine.
Your team is very good. You're a running
could,
back
like,
in 2 away.
Try to win and then just also trade for a pick.
Yeah. Look, you could get Brees Hall.
Bro,
You don't want Brees Hall.
I don't want
You don't
Brees
want
Hall.
Brees Hall.
that's not the guy.
Maybe
for me.
I trade for
Not
Brees
right
Hall.
now.
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Running back sit. I'm staying in that Detroit Dallas game. It's Rico Dowdle. And I missed last week
Oh God.
because Rico Dowdle was a good start against the Steelers.
My boy.
But the dude's only seeing 50% of snaps. He's not a workhorse back. The Lions' run defense is the elite of the elite. They're the cream of the crop. That's what they pride themselves on. I have a very tough time starting any running back against the Lions' defense. But the thing about Rico Dowdle is he's not that good of a player.
no, he's really not.
He's just a volume play. and a touchdown play.
It's
And
better than Zeke.
and the past 2 weeks he's gotten in the end zone, 2 receiving touchdowns.
He can catch the
right?
football.
Yeah. He's been really good in terms of receiving the ball, but that Lions run defense is the cream of the crop. So I'm sitting Rico Dowdle 1 more week, and then after this week, if he proves me wrong and he has another great week against another great run defense,
This is arguably the best.
After this week, if he has a good week, he is a weekly start of the week, and he won't even be mentioned on this show anymore because it'll be obvious that you're starting him and he's in your lineup. So 1 more week.
So I agree. I think it's a horrible start this week. But the one thing about Rico Dowdle is the opportunities have continuously gone
going
up.
up,
So he's at like 75% of running back opportunities right now, I think, which, I mean, I think we all saw this coming. Zeke sucks. Zeke's bad at football.
Supposedly Zeke went to the front office and complained about his role.
Did you see what Jerry Jones said about it?
No.
Bro, he said, we're saving him.
Saving him.
What are you saving him for? What are you saving him for? What is that? What do you think this is? Ohio State Zeke? What do you mean you're saving him?
Saving him.
Oh my God.
Wow. Guy runs 11 miles an hour.
Saving him is crazy.
All right, so my sit of the week is pretty self-explanatory. It's Brian Robinson. They're playing the Ravens' best run defense in the NFL, and he's injured. That's it. That's all I have to say.
I'm going to sit J.K. Dobbins going against the Denver Broncos. The Broncos have a good front. Usually running backs don't do too well against them. And Dobbins also splits carries with Gus Edwards. So not looking to start him this week if you have somebody else.
Word.
Think Gus may be injured.
Nah, he's like questionable, but I'm pretty
Is
sure
he?
he's gonna play.
Okay.
I think he's had like a questionable tag all season so far. So,
Nice.
who's your wide receiver start of the week, Wagner?
Start of the week is going to be Jacoby Myers with Devontae Adams still out, changing quarterbacks to Aiden O'Connell. Jacoby's been a sneaky good play all year. I think that if he continues to produce, once they do trade Devontae Adams, I think he could end up being a flex play every week for the Raiders.
So my wide receiver start of the week kind of goes hand in hand with my sit of the week at running back. My start of the week is Terry McLaurin, and that is because the Ravens are pass funnel. They stop the run so well. This is going to be a high-scoring game. Terry McLaurin will probably be targeted a whole bunch, and the Ravens' secondary has been trash.
You probably should be starting Terry anyway, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But this should be the week that he really booms. Hopefully, I have him in a few weeks, so like a
Should be a
30-point
boom
week from Terry. Maybe like 2 tugs for Terry would be sick. Oh my God, if the Commanders win that game, man.
Just like AJ and Big Justice say.
Oh my God,
He's
I'm gonna
booming.
be booming all over if the Commanders beat the
Bring
Ravens,
the
bro.
boom.
Oh my
that,
God.
That would be some shit. I'm not going to lie. That would be some shit.
Well, that's
So-
what you said. These are the 2 real
These are the tests.
They handled the first test with flying colors. They passed that shit against the Browns.
I think we
the
realized
gold
how bad the Browns
And he just
are.
said that shit would be a test for my Commanders.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a test for Daniel Jones either, so I guess
Exactly.
they in a test period.
My wide receiver start of the week, it's a trend. We talked about it. You got to start Calvin Ridley. Going against, what's that team? Why am I blanking on teams?
I'm trying to
The
find
Colts.
it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The Colts. Outside receivers have been absolutely killing the Colts. We've talked about Nico Collins, George Pickens. Last week's start of the week, Brian Thomas Jr. with that 80-yard bomb, running. We got the Will Levis meme without Will Levis from that cornerback on the Colts trying to tackle him because he's just so fast, Brian Thomas. But this isn't about
was
Brian
so
Thomas.
funny.
This is about Calvin
Ruin.
Ridley. Little Superman pose, bro. Bro thought he was going to Krypton, bro.
Superman pose from like 4 yards behind him. Was even close.
He had no chance. Bro just did that shit for the meme. He said, I got burned. Let me just get a little followers off this shit anyway. But, yeah, no, that Colts secondary is just giving up so many fantasy points to outside wide receivers. Calvin Ridley, again, most of these plays for me are always touchdown dependent, but the Colts are giving up touchdowns to receivers. So I'm going to start Calvin Ridley.
I'll do you one more real quick. Darius Slayton. Get him in your lineups if you don't already.
Okay.
Sure.
I mean, no neighbors. That's a good
No
play.
neighbors once
Wandale
again.
Robinson.
Both of them. Yeah.
Slayton capitalized on the no neighbors.
He
last week, right?
was
Did a
really
great
good.
game last week,
8
yeah.
for 120. Yeah, and a
for
ton,
sure.
I think. So
I'm going to stay in this game for my wide receiver sit of the week. I think this one's pretty obvious, but make sure you do it. It's Michael Pittman. He's playing on a hobbled back. the Colts just also stink right now. They're not that good. If Flacco's starting, maybe. But if Anthony Richardson's starting and Michael Pittman's hurt, get him on the bench. But I'd get him on the bench regardless. This is a guy who 2 days ago they were talking about is supposed to go on IR. He decided I'm going to try and play through it. That's not a guy I want in my lineup. There's just better options.
Especially not the back.
Yeah, no, there's just better options.
To add to your start of the week real quick, Brian Callahan. Yeah, Brian Callahan came out and talked about how they need to get Calvin Ridley more involved. So I think this is definitely going to be a big Calvin Ridley week. So real quick, my sit of the week is Christian Kirk. Number 1, they're going up against the Bears. And number 2, Evan Ingram is back. And when Evan Ingram is back, that means Christian Kirk needs to sit his ass on your bench. That's simple.
My sit of the week is going to be until he is benched, Deshaun Watson is benched, I'm sitting Amari Cooper. He's been getting the targets. He probably averages around 8 to 10 targets a game.
He's 3rd in the league in targets.
They do not connect ever because Deshaun Watson sucks and is not on the same page with his receivers. So until Jameis Winston enters the game, which I think could be coming up pretty soon.
Bro, Stefanski's been so
I would
adamant
consider
about
buying Amari Cooper because of that fact.
it. Yeah.
But until that happens, you sit him on the bench.
Yeah,
It's funny. I was actually going to hit you in Dynasty about a trade for Amari.
don't do it.
I'm going to
man.
keep him, yeah.
He's gonna fleece.
But-
He's
Not
gonna
to,
try and
not to
fleece
you.
bro.
Why would I help you win when I'm trying to win?
I don't know. I'm just asking.
Depends what you give me. If you give me a first, I'll give it.
Yeah, you move on. Go ahead.
So my tight end start of the week, I'm going to start. What? Are we all ready?
Yeah.
Oh, Cole Kmet. For no other reason than the tight end landscape sucks. And they're also versing the Jaguars. So Cole Kmet, there you go.
Cole Kmet in London. Bears in London. Fellas in London.
I feel like Cole's a London name.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere with
I thought
that.
he was too. I didn't know what he
I
was.
thought you were going to tie it back to your guy. That
Wait,
No,
who's
no,
the guy? Who's the guy that?
Just fellas in London.
fellas in London.
Oh my God, he works for Barstool, I think, and he. Oh.
I just understood it. It took
Yeah, I
me,
get
took
it.
me
I
a
get it
second.
too now.
That shouldn't have taken that long, bro. Come on.
All right, my son.
That's what that song's called, Fellas in London?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's something like
I'm not
that.
allowed to say the real name.
But aren't they in Paris?
Can't say that, bro.
No, but I'm
My
just
tight
saying.
end start of the week is Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts had a breakout game last week going for...
Bro's been
what do you
breaking
have?
out since
What do you have?
we were in high school, bro.
We've been waiting on this man
He's the
since
best
his rookie year.
since his rookie year, bro. He's here. He's arrived, bro.
He's been breaking out since we started
Bro,
playing fantasy,
It
bro.
took Kirk throwing the football 56 times for Pitts to have a good game.
No, but in all seriousness, bro, he had a good game. He did have a good game. He was involved. He wasn't Kirk's second option. Obviously, that's Darnell Mooney, just for being a god. Can't do anything about the moon god, honestly.
He's a
But,
stud.
Yeah, he's just a stud. But he was definitely more, even though Kirk did throw the ball 50 times, it was very clear and apparent that Kyle Pitts was much more of a focal point of the offense in this game against the Buccaneers than he has been all year. They're going against the Panthers. The Panthers' defense stinks. Everyone on the Falcons should eat in this game. Bijan, Drake London, Darnell Mooney, even freaking Ray McLeod if you have to start Ray
Gee,
McLeod.
I'd start Kadero Hodge over Kyle Pitts, and you can't even start him at tight end.
No, like, I don't know why. You guys hate Kyle Pitts. You
I hate
him.
Kyle Pitts because I was so high on
know,
Kyle
but,
Pitts for
like,
so long.
You got, like, you and Tom, too. Like, Tom was talking about, a few weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago, talking about, should I trade Kyle Pitts for TJ Hawkinson, Tom said. TJ Hawkinson hasn't played football. Like,
Shit, I would have done
it's
it.
not that bad, bro. Like, I know he's not the fucking tight end one, and he had one
No,
goose egg.
it's been bad.
It's not, but not for fantasy. For real life, sure, he's not separating and he's not getting that open, sure. But, like, for fantasy, what is he, like, the tight end 6 on the year? Like, he's up there. He's putting up fantasy points. He had that one goose egg, but he has been putting up solid fantasy outputs. Like, there are so many worse options that you could be starting at tight end.
Well,
So many worse options.
I think what you're trying to say is if you drafted Kyle Pitts, you're probably starting him
Yeah, you
anyway.
have to start him
You're not
anyway.
going to sit him because waiver, who are you going to start him over?
Bro,
these start sits are impossible because it's like you're gonna start most of the guys anyway. Like, and I'm not gonna tell you to sit like fucking.
Kyle Pitts had 15 points last
Luke
week without
Musgrave this
scoring
week.
a touchdown.
Not fucking playing.
Wait for who? I'm gonna tell you to sit.
Like I ain't gonna tell you to sit Juwan Johnson when he has Spencer Rattler playing quarterback.
I'm about to tell you to sit McBride, bro. Trey
You're not sitting Trey McBride.
Mine's Dalton Kincaid.
Come on, bro.
Yo, we might have to follow the pick aside the fantasy
This tight end
reactions model
position.
and just cut and scrap tight end sits
Yeah.
because the guys like we said, Dean has Trey McBride as his tight end sit. I have Dalton Kincaid.
And I have Dallas Goddard.
Like, we're not really telling you guys to sit these guys. Like, we don't
No,
even have
sit
to give
Dallas
details.
Goddard.
We're not really telling you guys to sit these guys. If you drafted Dalton Kincaid, if you drafted Trey McBride, freaking start them. But it's a bad matchup, so it might not be a boom week for them. But you have to start them regardless.
We would advise you to go trade for a top tight end if you need a tight end. Go
Yeah.
trade for Kittle. Go trade
not
for
top
Powers.
10. Fuck that. Number 10 probably sucks.
No, I said trade for a top tight end.
Oh, I thought you said top 10. I'm
No,
like,
trade
that's
for
a
trade
horrible
for a
idea.
top 3 guy. If you really need a tight end,
Yes.
if you want to know who to start, go trade for a top 3 guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I
Kyle
want to
Pitts is gonna
say.
have, Kyle Pitts had 15 points without scoring a touchdown. That's like unheard of for him. Like that's like as much as we freaking hate him and you hate him, that's a break. Having 15 points without scoring a touchdown is a big break.
But like Matty J said,
Bro,
Kirk
it
Cousins
took
threw
Kirk
the ball.
throwing 56 times for him to get 8 targets, bro. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. Like,
Yo, fuck you guys. Bro. Fuck you guys. Watch what
You're talking about him like he had like 17 targets, bro.
No, he didn't.
Bro, what's 8 out of 56, bro?
1/7. 1/7.
Bro,
of Kirk's
what are we
best
talking
attempts.
about?
Bro, Darnell Mooney had
Watch-
13.
Let's say he throws the ball 35 times. What's 1/7 to 35? That's
5.
You're right, but if he gets less targets, but he scores a touchdown, it'll even out and be the
We're
same
asking
thing.
for a
they
lot.
play the Panthers.
How many
Panthers
career
stink.
touchdowns does he have? Like
Not
6?
that many. Not that many. I can count them on my fingers.
Bro, he's 6'6" and has 6
Bro,
touchdowns.
Bro.
Bro, he would have had another one this year if the Chiefs didn't blatantly PI him.
Wow, he would have had 7.
Exactly.
They peed him.
They peed him, bro. The Chiefs peed him in that game, bro. Falcons should be freaking 4-1 right now, bro.
If you have Kyle Pitts, start Kyle Pitts.
Bro,
Cool.
watch what happens against the Panthers.
Don't
bro. I'm
trade
telling
for
you.
Kyle Pitts.
Kyle
Once he puts up a donut.
No, I'll put my life savings on it. 10 plus points from Kyle.
Your life savings. What's how much is in your savings? You don't
Not
got
that much. Not that much. Not that much. Bro,
Enough to
betting on
gamble.
Kyle Pitts.
Bro's got to
Making
put
me
his signed Zion card on the line, bro.
Bro, from losing all those bets on the over on Kyle Pitts for the past 3 years, it's not that much in the bank account. But I'm not folding, I'm not wavering, bro. I will be here till the wheels fall off. It's Kyle Pitts season.
Oh,
there's a
shit.
lot of football to be played, and there's a lot of time for Kyle Pitts to cement himself as the best.
So you guys gave your sits. Trey McBride
But not really.
and Dalton Kincaid. My start of the week is Tucker Kraft. First of all, his name is Tucker, and he's a tight end. Second of all, Luke Musgrave is out. Third of all, this goes hand in hand with my start of the week at quarterback and Jordan Love. Start Tucker Kraft. He's one of the top 5 tight ends in fantasy football now. Lock it in.
It's not saying much.
No, it's really not anymore.
Man, I really have a decision to make in one of my
No,
leagues.
it's Tucker over Kyle.
I think all of our fantasy leagues should move to tight end premiums because of how bad the position is.
No, it just heightens the need for an elite tight end.
Yeah, I guess.
So that's why you don't go to tight end premium. Fuck that.
Well, because a guy like Brock Bowers in tight end premium leagues is probably the greatest fantasy player ever right
Probably.
now. Like,
Player number 1.
Kittle
Yeah.
and Brock are gonna be the greatest ever.
Bro, Kittle's played 5 games. He scored 20 in 4 of them.
Yeah,
no, he's cooking, bro. He's cooking.
he's been the opposite of what he's been for the last like
Yo,
2-3
and that was
years.
so fire on Thursday night when the two of them, Kittle and Juszczyk,
Yes.
jumped into their wives, and then
Oh, yeah.
and then when Juszczyk scored, the whole team joined them for the
Yep.
second one.
Debo's hopping in there with the wives, bro.
No,
Yep.
that was cool. That
Like,
was
Debo,
cool.
where's your girl? You know what I'm saying? Where's she at? Probably don't got one.
No, he's married, brother.
Is he?
I'm
Oh.
pretty sure Devo's married with a kid.
Oh.
Or at least has a girl that he has
Are
a
you
kid
jumping
with.
into Kristen Juszczyk's arms?
Well, the whole team did. They were celebrating, bro. They were
They're
right there.
boys.
Yeah,
My bad. You're right.
they got those jackets.
Why are you throwing allegations out there?
Yeah, come on. Man. All right.
Kyle's a handsome man and he's
Sorry,
absolutely
Christian
jacked.
Christensen. No, he's a good-looking guy.
Yeah. Shout out to Juszczyk. Shout out to
They
Kittles.
got good-looking girls, bro.
All right.
Okay.
You tell them that. Don't tell us. Tell them.
Good for that. They're winning in life.
Rank your top 10 tight end girlfriend.
It's gonna be
Who
better
do
than
you think's got the baddest girl?
Blind rank
Yo.
these tight end girlfriends based on their.
Yo, they might score the same amount of points as Kyle Pitts this week.
All right, bro.
Wow.
All right, that's our week 6 start sits. Comment down below any start sit questions you have for us, any trade questions you have for us. I'm sure we're going to steer you in probably the wrong direction, as we tend to do. Like I said, start Sam Darnold over Joe Flacco last week to some kid in the comments. I'm sorry, bro.
I hope you listen
saw
to me.
Matty J's comment.
Please.
But I'm sorry. Definitely don't listen to me. These
No,
guys
that's
you
not
could probably
true.
listen
That's
to a
not
little bit
true.
more, but most of the time I'm wrong.
That's not
But-
true. How was your week last week overall?
I think pretty good.
I did well with
started
sits.
Trev.
Not
I
too well
started
with
my
starts.
starts were Trev and Brian Thomas, so they came.
Oh, that
through
hit.
for
Okay.
sure. I don't remember who my running back start was.
My start was Javonte Williams. He put up 16.
He did do well. Javante was real good.
So all right,
You
real-
said to start David Njoku. I said to sit David Njoku.
What did he do?
He got hurt in like
he
the
caught
second
the
quarter.
first ball and then got hurt. He
Yeah.
caught the first ball of the
Okay,
game and then
so-
got hurt.
What can
All
I
right,
say?
real
Can't
quick
predict
before
He was
we
coming
end.
in hurt.
Are we starting Javonte Williams versus the Chargers or Rico Dowdle versus the Lions?
Javonte.
Javante. It's going to be a
Javonte?
gross
Cool.
game.
All right, just want to make sure. All right, that's that. This is dropping. What's today? Saturday. This will
Saturday.
drop today, sometime in the afternoon. We have a very special full podcast episode dropping. It probably will drop Monday afternoon. Basketball is back. We're gonna do an Eastern Conference preview. Then next week, over the weekend, we will do our Western Conference preview. And then basketball is back. So you guys are going to be getting our Tuesday full pod, our Friday or Saturday, whenever we record start sits of the week, and then a basketball pod dropping whenever the basketball pod drops. So be on the lookout for that stuff. Again, comment down below any start sit questions you have for us. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, follow us on all our socials linked in the description. Follow us on TikTok if you're not following us there already. Great content coming out on TikTok, trivia content, all that fun stuff. And with that,
That was ball game.
indeed it was.